Little Darius Acuff recruitment update. This is one of the best guards that high school basketball has seen in recent years. Acuff is coming off of a stellar week or weeks with the FIBA team, USA. He was the best player on the team. I think you and I would agree on that. It was electric watching him. Everybody treated him like the alpha. It really impressed me. I knew he was like a dog player, but I did not realize when you surround him with a bunch of other five stars, they're all going to kind of defer to Darius Acuff. That's what happened here. On3 reported yesterday that there are three schools that are heavily involved for Darius Acuff. Those three schools would be Arkansas, Kansas, and Michigan, who I happen to be a fan of. That excites me. I didn't know Michigan was still considered in the short list here for Darius Acuff. We can speak to some of the actual updates on what's trending. It sounds like one school in particular is trending for Darius Acuff. But, Cart, what is your reaction to this sort of being Acuff's shortlist at this point? Michigan, Arkansas, and Kansas.
I mean, my first initial reaction was honestly a little bit surprised that Michigan was on that list. Just because like I've always seen this as coming down between, is Acuff going to play for Coach Cal or is he going to go to Kansas and play for self? Like those always have been the aforementioned leaders to me. But I think it is a positive seeing Michigan in that running, because I believe that Acuff is a rumored, whatever term you want to use, a Michigan fan coming up in his youth. I know he went to Cass Tech before he transferred out to IMG. You can correct me on that. Sometimes I get if it was him or Trey McKinney who were Michigan fans growing up. Do you know the answer to that?
I have heard differing things on that from differing people, and I don't know who to believe.
Okay. Honestly, I think we might make a motion for Sleepers Media to officially throw out childhood fandom for teams anymore, or for teams when picking for these kids. Uh, but unfortunately, just to keep it a buck here, I don't really think Michigan has a chance. Which is awesome, which is kind of evident also of maybe some other 2025 targets that they're looking to bring in at the point guard spot. I think this is going to come down to Arkansas or Kansas. And I'm going to stay strong and say that he's going to end up at Arkansas with Coach Cal. The marriage between Acuff and Coach Cal just seems too good to be true. Like he to me, he is a Coach Cal guard. And I can't shake that feeling.
Yeah, watching him with the FIBA team, it felt that way for sure, right? So okay, there were two schools that were like really in on Acuff that have changed coaches recently. Those two schools were Michigan and Kentucky. Like you go back to the beginnings of the Darius Acuff high school years when his recruitments got serious, Michigan and Kentucky were both there. John Calipari was the coach of Kentucky. Juwan Howard, rest his soul, thank you for all you've done, was the coach at Michigan. They're no longer employed by their schools. John Calipari is now at Arkansas. Arkansas is still on Darius Acuff's list. Juwan Howard is not employed, as far as I know, by a collegiate team. He is employed on an NBA staff now. Darius Acuff will not be going to play for Juwan Howard in the NBA out of high school, but Michigan remains. Dusty May has prioritized Acuff, from what I've been told. Dusty May is like putting in the actual work, and it's new, it's different, but like he's trying to still land Darius Acuff. Kentucky has not, for the record. Like Mark Pope is in. Mark Pope has different guards that he is after. Jasper Johnson being one, Akeda Lewis being the other, among others. Darius Acuff is like not an option for Kentucky anymore. So that's how you get a short list of three. It seems to be relationship driven. Michigan, had an old relationship and the new coach still wants him. John Calipari, he had an old relationship through and through for. The third school here, I believe, is the one that signs are kind of pointing towards, like trending here. I think Kansas might be the leader for Darius Acuff based on things that I'm hearing. Which would make sense, right? Like if Acuff is truly a relationship guy and he was really into Michigan under Juwan Howard and he was really into Kentucky under John Calipari, two of those options disappeared overnight. So you're looking around and Bill Self still wants you and he's been after you and it's Kansas. Like it seems like a pretty great option to me. I think Darius would have to talk himself into like, I can still get the full Cal Kentucky experience at Arkansas, or I can get the Michigan experience I wanted under Dusty May. If he still hasn't committed and Dusty does some things this year, I would say like Michigan could get back in this very quickly. But I think you're right. Michigan seems like a distant third here behind Cal and behind Kansas. And honestly, as much as I'm happy Michigan's still trying, this is one of those recruitments I kind of hope the staff isn't wasting a lot of time on, because Darius Acuff's too good, man. Like if Bill Self wants Darius Acuff, I think he's going to get Darius Acuff unless Cal has something to say about it.
Yeah, the one thing I will say, I'm not sure, I might have missed this. I don't think he set a commitment day, did he? This
Not
is
that
just a
I've
visit.
seen, no.
I
Yeah.
think one thing to look at this year closely will be what maybe like Boogie Flan looks like this year at Arkansas, or what the guards look like at Arkansas this season. Because, like you said, the obviously Cal is Cal when you think of guards. Obviously, I just went on a little rant right there about guards playing for Coach Cal. It is at Arkansas. It is new. Maybe for some reason there's a world where it doesn't look the same, right? And maybe Darius Acuff has that, like this isn't Coach Cal at Kentucky. It might be a little bit different. So I think it'd be something to maybe look out for, where maybe Michigan could sneak in there. Maybe Michigan goes up to number 2 over Coach Cal in that, or with Arkansas in that case. But, also Bill Self's Bill Self.
I gotta say, it doesn't matter how good Michigan is in year one under Dusty or how good Arkansas is in year one under Cal. Kansas is the number 1 team in the country here, so it kind of does feel like a fight for silver. You're right. He feels like a Cal guard because of how special he is. Does he feel like a Bill Self guard to you at all?
To be honest, not really, no.
What does that
Because,
mean?
because at least like when I think guards for Kansas, and I just, to me it's wings and bigs are kind of the more the players, not like undersized scoring guards, which is where I think is more Cal's bag. Would be great for Kansas fans though, like after 4-5 years of like having this table setting, just do everything, go get her point guard and Dwan Harris, you go to this dynamic bona fide bucket and Darius Acuff. It'd be quite the spiritual experience.
It would just be so fun to be a fan of a blue blood, wouldn't it? That's my takeaway on all of this. Like, at least my team's on the list. That's cool. I like seeing graphics, but
Graphics are nice.
yeah, Darius Acuff's so good, man.
Yeah,
I hate that I'm going to have to root for him for a different team. The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media big board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured on the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator. You can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just one click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at nba2klab.com/NBA-mini-games.